Okay. One sec. We did it! Can you believe it? We actually did it. This was not a fever dream. It was not some sort of a drunken hallucination, even though I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And wait. Look at this. Isn't this just the coolest thing? Watch. Okay, Google. Who are the champions?
The NBA Finals was won by Toronto Raptors.
It is Monday morning. I've been celebrating all weekend long, and if you don't mind me, I'm gonna get my pregame on before the parade. Thursday night was a wild night. I was lucky enough to watch with a large group of friends. We essentially had 3 different opportunities to cheer when we thought that the Raptors had secured it. First, it was the Curry missed 3-pointer. Then it was the inbounds pass where we thought that Kawhi drained the clock while nailing a buzzer beater. And then lastly, it was his free throw to put us up by 4 with less than a second left. And the room just exploded. That's me right there in the center, by the way, wearing this Vince Carter jersey. You probably haven't seen me in boy mode before, but believe it or not, I'm just as cute out of drag as I am in. We did the 2-kilometer march to get to Yonge and Dundas, and it just became chaos. When we first hit the streets, we were a group of 10, but then we shortly got split up among the crowd. And you know that your girl Coco is the mother hen in all of this. One of the last things I said to everybody was, buddy up. We're doing this in grade school field trip fashion. My buddy for the night was a good friend that I hadn't seen in a while, drag king Bobby Mercury. Everybody was just hugging and high-fiving. You'd encounter 2 people who know each other, seeing each other, and then just hugging in the street as if one of them had just gotten back from the war. It wasn't like a lewd and disruptive crowd for the most part.
That was the most respectful crowd I've ever been a part of.
I agree.
Everyone said sorry. They made direct eye contact. Like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm right here, only like steps away from where the hub of the celebration is, here at Yonge and Dundas.
And
Look
everyone's
at
like, oh, pardon me.
This glass is intact.
People were respectful of other people's vehicles, except for one TTC bus that kind of got commandeered for the party. In fact, a couple guys somehow managed to hoist a full keg up there so they can just serve the masses. And in classic Canadian fashion, people were passing the gong.
So we were walking down the street, and there were these guys standing on top of, was it a mailbox?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even, with one, like, joint this big.
It was honestly like this long with a girth like that. I swear, like that.
At one point, they ashed it, and like a full gram just fell.
It was like the kind of thing you would see in one of those like small baggies. Fell out of it. out from the paper.
Like bigger than your average nug.
Yeah.
And then strangers came, picked it up,
Yes.
packed it back into the joint, high-fived each other, asked a stranger for a lighter, lit it, and passed it around to the entire crowd, including us.
We somehow managed to shimmy our way into the very center of Yonge and Dundas, and once we got there, it was literally shoulder to shoulder. And we were kind of expecting it to be wild there, like a mosh pit or some craziness, but really, it was just a whole lot of love. You could just feel it. You could feel the love being transferred from like Queen Street all the way up, past Dundas to like Gerrard. It was just a flow of love and energy through the entire crowd. At one point, there was a moment where a group of 6 people asked my friend Bobby Mercury to take a photo of them.
And they paired up with
They paired up,
sitting on top of each other's
sitting
shoulders.
up on each other's shoulders and elevated into the air.
And we were in the middle of Yonge and Dundas Square, so we were like right nestled up next to them. And I turned to Bobby and I'm like, I don't think we quite have enough space to make this photo work. So then it hit me. What would Serge Ibaka do in this situation? I throw out my big booty and box out a group of like 5 people. Across from me, a tall, dark, and handsome stranger sees what I'm doing and does the same. So now we've got these 2 power forwards throwing our asses into people, boxing them out, and making space for the most Instagram-worthy pic. On to the next. I'll be right back. You know what? I'm gonna get a real beer this time. None of that Molson Coors Brewing Company BS. Located in Denver, Colorado, for all you who aren't keeping track. Ta-da! Oh wow. This lager has flavor. Anyone knows a marketing rep at Muskoka, tell them to watch this video and maybe they can sponsor the next one. Comment below if you think that I should drink in all of my videos and support my problem. As things started to calm down, we went back to my friend's place and we just reflected on the game.
I think there is something almost poetic about how, for the first half of that game, it was Kyle Lowry who actually took the reins himself and said, I'm gonna be the one who puts us on top early.
Apart from game 2, Kyle had a positive plus minus in every single game of these finals. So even in the games where he didn't have big scoring nights, he was still affecting the play on offense and on defense in such incredible ways. And of course that didn't change on Thursday. In fact, he had perhaps the game of his career. I mean, he scored our first 11 points. Kyle Lowry is really the only holdout from 2014, which is what made his efforts in the first half that much more special. But all in all, we ended up having 4 players score at least 20 points. For Pascal to step up and be a primary scoring option on a night where Kawhi was having a little bit of difficulty, he was cementing himself as the Scottie Pippen to Kawhi's Michael Jordan. And in my heart, Kyle Lowry is the MVP of the series. But of course, in my head and in my eyes and in my loins, I know that it's Kawhi who is a real MVP. There's something to be said about what this team has overcome to claim the Larry O'Brien trophy. Whether it's Kyle overcoming these narratives of failure, or Kawhi coming back from injury and overcoming his own narratives about whether he's too soft to play through an injury. Anyways, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I don't want to take up too much more of my own time. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So to each and every one of you subscribers out there, I love you. I really do. I mean that. Like, this has been an incredible journey, not just because the Raptors won it all, but drag is still a very new thing for me. I just started doing drag this year in 2019, and I'm not usually a spiritualist or a cosmoist, but it feels like the universe is really communicating to me with this Raptors victory that what I'm doing right now is the right thing to do. I took some time off of work so that I could create these videos full-time over the course of the playoffs, which means that I've made literally $0 ever since April 14th. So I won't be releasing videos as frequently as I have been over the course of these last couple months, but I want to keep doing this. This has been so much fun. And if this channel starts to get any more traction, I would love to set up a PayPal or a Patreon so that people can donate and perhaps create a redemption narrative of my own where I can create these videos as my full-time job. And I don't know, I know what I'm doing is a bit niche and strange and weird, but I feel like there are so many young boys and girls and everything in between who might appreciate what I'm doing. I know that when I was a teenager, for instance, I probably would have appreciated seeing that there was a drag queen out there who could be sporty and could be athletic, but also be unafraid to be super femme. Because that's kind of like what life is sometimes. I don't know, I just tell a friend or tell somebody who has an interest in sports or in drag or in anything that might be relevant to what I'm doing here. I would appreciate your comments below in this video. Just let me know, like, how did you hear about me? What turned you on to this whole idea of a sporty drag queen? And like, what's working about it? What's not working about it? I don't care, give me some constructive criticism. And if you aren't already, you can follow me on Instagram or on Twitter. I also post about shows and any live performances that I have going on. And thank you to everyone in the Raptors organization for making this wacky gal just the happiest queen that you have ever seen. And don't forget to love your squad and respect your rivals, because you never know when we might end up on the same team. Woo! Love, 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 love. Let the parade begin.